nerds, happy Sunday, and welcome to our movie night. I was going to call it our first one, but I think we did
I think we did Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah, that one. Not Harry Potter, but like it. I think we did that. But this is our first officially sanctioned movie night. Some of us watched the movie together last night, and now we are going to talk about it in place of one of our regular book clubs, and it's pretty exciting. So we watched P.S. I Still Love You, the second movie in the To All the Boys I've Loved Before movie trilogy, and it was an experience. So we're going to kick things off, as we usually do, with some ratings. So Megan, you're up first.
I've been thinking about this a lot because I knew you were going to ask this question, and I still don't feel confident. I think I'm going to give it a 4. I had a lot of things that I had strong feelings about, but also it's a rom-com. It made me feel happy. It was fun. I liked the first one better.
Yeah.
This one was good.
Fair. Helen, how about you?
Yeah, I would say like a 3.5, like a 3.75, somewhere around there. The first movie for me is like a 4.5. Like, I really like the first movie. Really like the first it's so good, and this did not quite measure up, but it was still fun and cute. So,
yeah, I feel very much the same. Oh, and Griswold just asks rating out of 5 or 10.
5 out of 5. Clarification.
Oh, that'd be real sad.
Yeah, I'm in the same range. Like, I don't know. I did miss a little bit because we were trying to digital movie night and there were some technical difficulties. So I missed a couple minutes at the start and a couple minutes in the middle. So I need to rewatch it to fully experience it. But
see what other John Ambrose flashbacks happened in those 2 minutes.
Yeah. I can hear you guys laughing about John Ambrose flashbacks. I can see them for myself. So I do feel like I got some of that experience. But I really liked it. But my expectations were high because I loved the first one. Yeah. Didn't quite live up.
Yeah, and I feel like it's hard because I did read the book, and I also struggled with the book. I felt like not enough happened for it to have been its own book. And I felt, Emma had said this last night too when we watched it, but I had hoped that maybe the movie would kind of pick up and add some tension where the book kind of didn't succeed in having tension. But I felt like the problem was worse in the movie than it was in the book.
Yeah,
there's definitely places they could have fleshed it out. I wonder if maybe they kind of rushed it because the first one did so well.
Yeah. I wanted 550% more, Jen.
Honestly, she was so not an antagonist in this movie, and she could have been, and it would have been great. But
and even just the whole trajectory of going from an antagonist to this weird understanding that they have at the end of, oh, we've kind of misjudged each other and we used to be best friends, and not really getting back to that, but wondering as a reader or viewer if maybe that's a possibility. I would have loved to see that arc play out more.
Yeah. Put a little more tension in that storyline. And I wanted a little more after their treehouse reunion-y thing. I was okay, and then what?
They ascended into the sky, Kelly. That's the end.
Whole other issue. So I guess, even though it seems like Megan feels like Jen was the main relationship of this story, we should talk about Laura Jean and Peter.
I felt like Peter was a very realistic blend of adorable and flawed. I felt like he was very well-rounded, and I like that book 2 and movie 2 kind of play along with that idea of, well, someone seems perfect when you get together, but after you're together for a bit, they aren't perfect, and you realize that. And the idea of staying together with someone knowing that they aren't going to be perfect.
Yeah. What did you guys think of the reveal of not the poetry thing, because
that was dumb. That he was waiting for Jen in the bathtub.
Yeah. In the bathtub.
Yeah. Sorry. Freudian slip.
Yeah, waiting for Jen. And like he started that whole argument with like, at least I made my choice like authentically or whatever. I don't remember how he phrased it, but like Lara Jean chose him maybe because she didn't have the John Ambrose thing. But that wasn't true because like Peter chose Lara Jean because she showed up at the hot tub first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like she was pretty right to be mad. And
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Addressed that she was right to be mad. They just kind of fixed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Out of everything that happens in that movie, that's the that's the thing that was like, oh, I don't really like Peter that much right now, and I love Peter in the books, so I was like, yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I like the idea that is a twist that happened, and I really thought all of the fights were like paced out pretty well. Like all the verbal fights they were having, I felt like they escalated in a really natural way. And I just, even if I hated the things they were fighting about, I thought they were really well written. But then they have that fight and it's so powerful, but then the emotional fallout in the scenes after the fact, I felt like could have been stronger.
Yeah. I felt like a lot of the emotional impact near the end could have been stronger of like, that fight deserves more tension, I guess, and like deciding, we'll get into John Ambrose very soon as we have a comment about him already, but all of that just felt a little like, well, it's inevitable I'm going to end up with Peter, so I guess I should go do that now.
Yeah, I would have loved to see more play on like okay, so I was kind of waiting because I thought we were done and I was sad. But now like this, like I'm running to you, I'm pursuing you, like I actively want you, like that could have been really cute and really well done. But yeah, I kind of wish the movie had just been like 20 minutes longer so they could have fleshed things out a little more.
Yeah.
I did feel like the love triangle in this one felt more suspenseful. Like I liked John Ambrose. Felt like a legitimate possibility for Lara Jean. Vanessa's question is, was anyone rooting for Cubby to choose John Ambrose?
I have a lot of feelings about it.
Yeah.
I love John Ambrose as an idea. Like, I really like the idea of this sweet, soft boy who's every bit as nerdy and chill as Lara Jean. But I felt like in the movie, it was always, you know, the parts in both of the movies where she's sitting in her room and she imagines the boys standing next to her. It felt like that all the time. Like, even when he was literally there, I always felt like he was just talking about their memories. Do you remember this thing? Like, remember when I was really sweet this time? I'm not doing anything sweet now, but I was really sweet in the past. I don't know.
I throw a lot of it. Megan was making fun of the fact that he didn't really have like a presence. And I wish they'd like played on that more in the end of like her discovering that while she has this like fantasy of who he was in the past, she doesn't really know him now. And that would have given the person so much more substance.
I really wanted it to turn out that he was a ghost. That was why.
I'm not surprised. That's very on brand.
Yeah. I think it was like at the piano scene. I was like, is he dead? Is he a ghost?
Alas.
Alas.
Yeah.
I'm just going to mute myself for a second because I have movie snacks beside me still. Someone talk.
Yes, but the actor who played him was amazing.
Yes.
So good. Like, his face was just so precious that I was like, I kind of wanted to get with you because you're so adorable. I want to pinch your cheeks. Like, so cute.
Yeah, I liked him so much at the beginning, and then as we like didn't get to know him, it didn't stick as much.
Yeah. I think he's gonna be in the All the Bright Places adaptation that's coming out with Netflix too.
Oh, really?
What I'm hoping for of like do what they did with the last one of then like I can't pronounce his last name. Noah.
Centineo.
Yes, thank you.
Be in more adorable things after. I'm like, I want this for this guy also.
Yeah.
I will watch you.
We had a comment from Andrew Walker. I was ready to leave Peter for John Ambrose. Honestly, probably same. I don't care that he's a ghost.
If we were talking like real life, like I would have left Peter for John Ambrose. Easy. Give me a soft boy.
I was all for him when they did the like Halloween party flag.
Yes.
That was adorable.
It's so cute.
Oh my god.
A little deviled egg, a little French toast.
So cute.
They're just little dorks who can't read social cues together. It's so nice.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
Ugh. I would have loved a scene in like present day where they were being dorks who couldn't read social cues together.
That would have been really, really nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. I just felt like I really liked the movie. I wish there had been more, which is I think a good sign. But like I wanted more of that like reuniting their old friend group thing because that's really interesting. And
Mm-hmm.
Who's Trevor? I still don't know.
this was the part I wasn't actually watching, so I have absolutely no idea.
Honestly, like you didn't miss much. Trevor was just
No.
there.
Yeah, he was. The whole Trevor and Chris thing was weird.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Trevor was only there so that Chris couldn't be there to give good advice to Laura Jean.
Honestly,
She's distracted by a boy because, you know, that makes
Probably
sense.
like a fair realism thing though, of like your friends get together and you just kind of do. I feel like that was a thing in high school. That's
Yeah.
like, just like proximity dating, because they don't seem
Yeah.
like they have anything in common other than their friends.
mm-hmm.
No part of me believed that she would have been attracted to Trevor. Like,
It was sad too because like Chris is one of my favorite parts of the first movie because she's just so like she has no filter at all, and it made like for some really fun dumb moments that like I need in a rom-com. And then she
Yes.
just didn't get to have those in this one, so it was kind of sad.
she did get Subway, though.
Yes, she did get Subway. Gotta keep
That
that
was
brand
great.
deal going.
Yes, and my favorite part of it was that her eyeshadow matched the Subway bag.
Yes.
Yeah. I think the other thing I wanted more of was family time. It's like
Yeah.
I felt like the first movie was more like about her sisters, and
Mhm.
this one wasn't as much. Whereas I would have liked to like add the friendship dynamic instead of the sister dynamic. But I love her family, and I want nothing but good things for her dad. So I want to see more of.
Yes.
Corbett. I love him. So precious. And how what was the neighbor's name?
Mrs. Rothschild? Trina?
Yeah.
Yes.
Trina was so cute and so nice, and I loved like the dinner they had together and how she like ate the green beans, and like it kind of obviously they're adults, so like they're gonna handle things better than teens, but it felt so like Laura and Peter have been fighting about Jen this whole time, and Trina's over here like, well, yeah, you loved your wife. I'm not gonna have any problem with that, obviously.
Mhm.
But like I don't know. I wish I knew what Laura Jean was thinking, telling Trina that Kitty did the Valentine. Of like, did she think it was going to be a thing? Like, what good was going to come of this? Because she seemed to be rooting for her.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I wish I knew what her motivation was there. But
Yeah.
like, and Trina just being like, "Oh, this is shocking news," was great.
Yes.
I loved like when she's first introduced and she brings the dog in and Kitty is just like, they're gonna be together by Valentine's Day. And Laura Jean's like, what makes you say that? And she's just like, Dad's not a dog person. And like, she says it so matter-of-factly, and it's like, wow, I remember being like 12 years old and thinking that things were that simple.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and I wanted more Kitty. And like,
Yes.
Margot.
I
Well,
love
me and
Kitty so
Emma
much.
both want a spin-off where Kitty and Hilda start a matchmaking business together. Hilda was the witch.
Yes.
Old person.
Yes.
I'm into this. I would
Yes.
watch it. I would watch it.
Speaking of old people, my MVP of the movie was the very fancy retirement home.
Yes.
What goals? I mean, wow.
They have fancy activities. Everyone's room is like a suite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No one is actually like retirement age somehow.
Yeah.
I loved Stormy.
Yes.
She was like the funniest person in this movie for me. She was
And
great.
she was someone else I wanted more of. Like,
Yeah.
I just needed a little bit more time in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It needed like a solid 20 minutes added on.
I really think like if you'd had 20 minutes, you could have deepened everything.
I agree.
Yeah, Vanessa asked, is there going to be a third movie? And there is, and I want to say it's coming out pretty soon. Like, I think they're doing closer releases for the
I think so.
2 and 3. I know they've already filmed it.
I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, no, later this year. It says NetflixLife.com. They sound like they know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it shows us 2020 on IMDb as well.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Same time, same place. We'll talk about it later this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not seeing like an exact date, but it does say 2020.
I haven't read the third book personally. I know Emma skimmed it and said that like
I remember nothing.
Yeah, Emma said that
Laura the neighbor, like the dad and the neighbor, I think was the thing, but that's all.
Yeah, she said Laura Jean is like trying to decide which college to go to and stuff, which could bring back some of the like coming of age feels that I felt were missing from this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because there's that whole thing that Margot said in the first one of like why she broke up with Josh, of like their mother told her not to go to college with a boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
So that probably factored in the book at least.
Yeah. And I could see like there being conflict. Like, do you want to leave your town to go to college, especially when you have a boyfriend? I don't know what Peter's plans are.
I'm assuming he's aiming for that football scholarship.
That football scholarship.
I gotta play every game.
Yeah, even though we've never seen him play football.
Or look, it was lacrosse. Sorry.
Oh,
lacrosse, not football.
Okay.
Aiming for a lacrosse scholarship.
We've seen him practice in the first one because I remember her, like walking up to him on the field.
Yeah.
So
that was like the bookends of the movie was like her walking up to him to be like, okay, let's do this, and then her walking up to him to be like, yeah, you know what, we're doing this. Doing this for real.
Yeah, that was adorable.
It was adorable. I love the first movie.
Yeah, this one did have a lot of like 80s rom-com aesthetics still.
The opening montage in and of itself was so 80s rom-com.
Tell me what happened. I did not see this.
She like is dancing around her room trying on dresses, or at least she's imagining that she's trying on dresses to
marry Peter?
No, just like to just go on a date.
I'm pretty sure she's in a wedding dress in one of them. I might be making that up.
She's in like a regular dress, but she like grabs her curtain and does the little veil thing because the song says, and then I'm gonna be his bride or something.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. But it's a very cute like throwback.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I do love, I mean, the movie had its flaws, but I loved the end of like Peter showing up because she hates driving in the snow. Get out of here. That's so cute.
I thought you were talking about like the end of them floating into the sky. So this makes more sense.
Oh no. That was weird. That was a choice that someone made that someone should have said no to.
Yep.
Same with the midpoint of the movie music video. Like, why was Laura Jean just singing in the school?
Some really weird choices were made.
Yeah. But also, like, I get, walking through high school after you've just had an emotional breakup or something and feeling like that is what is happening to you. So I don't it didn't like ruin the movie for me, but as a viewer, it did pull me out.
Because like Laura Jean likes to imagine herself in those typical romancy situations, like the beginning of the first movie. But I thought they were jarring. Of like, oh, this is what we're doing.
Yeah, in the first movie. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say like the the transitions for them were like non-existent. So it was like, is this happening or not? Yeah.
Yeah. Because in the first movie, they would always do like a really sharp cut or something, or have the camera like whip over. So it was kind of like, oh, this isn't real. They're definitely not moving this fast.
Yeah.
Also, where was Josh?
Yeah.
What is Josh doing?
Yeah. It just disappeared off the face of the earth, apparently.
Yeah.
Does he not live next door anymore? What?
I remember him being in the book.
Too. I don't remember much. It's been a really long time.
Same. I read it when it came out. Like the only thing I remembered from it before going into the movie, I was like, don't they have a snowball fight at some point? And I was like very confused because I'm like watching the movie and I was like, did I imagine this? Was this a fever dream? And then it happened like right at the end and I was like, oh, okay, it was a thing.
Yeah, the only thing I remembered was the friendship bracelet thing. And I didn't remember until they were like in the time capsule scene and Jen was being weird. And then my memory just popped out that one thing from the book.
And Griswold has a question that kind of will help us clarify it. I figured he was in college. Wasn't this a new school year? I don't think so.
I think this is a continuation of the same school year.
Yeah, because I think we started after Christmas.
Yeah. Because it goes, like, the opening of it is right around Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
But it could have been
at least
a year past. I just don't think it was.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think that John Ambrose McLaren would wait a year to respond.
Yeah.
Yeah. To all the boys.
Oh, I love the movie series though. I'm so excited for the last one.
Yeah.
I need to like reread the first two books and actually read Always and Forever, Laura Jean.
I read all three. I don't remember anything about them, but I feel like I didn't dislike them as much as Megan and Emma.
I liked the first one. I really struggled with the pacing of the second one because I just didn't feel, at the time, I didn't feel like they had enough reasons to be fighting. But I might feel differently now, especially like watching it in movie form. I'm pretty sure a lot of these fights were just like lifted from the books.
Yeah.
And as I was watching it, it made sense to me that things were progressing that way, that they were having these misunderstandings. And so maybe I was just reading book 2 with grown-up Megan lenses or something. I'm so mature. I've never had a fight in my life.
And I'm trying to see if, like, because Netflix has made a few adorable rom-com-y things last year. I'm like, what's coming? I want more. Well, that's not John.
Wildly disappointed in. I was wildly disappointed with every other rom-com that Noah Centineo was in that Netflix put out.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I didn't watch any of them.
They were so bad, and I was like so upset because going into this movie, I was afraid that I hated all his characters and him in the other 2 movies so much that I would just immediately want Laura Jean to get with John Ambrose, just on the principle of things.
Yeah. Andrew gave us a clarification of that it picks up a few weeks after the first one.
Thanks, Andrew.
Yeah, I know when I was reading the for movie 3, it says that one focuses on her senior year.
Yeah, so for that one, then Josh would be gone to college for sure, because or is he the same age as her? He's a year older than her, I think.
Probably a year older.
Bit of comment from N. Griswold. What did you think of Jenny Han's cameo? Normally I don't like author cameos because they hit you over the head with it, but hers found a sweet spot that made me cheer. She wrote the book. I screamed her name when she came
I remember seeing her, but now I can't remember when it was.
She was like at one of the tables in the school, right? While they were all practicing.
Yeah, in the cafeteria.
Yes.
Things. Yeah.
Yes.
Which was perfect because she was at the school dance as a chaperone in the first one.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, she's a teacher there.
Yeah.
In my head, she was like a counselor because she was like,
oh, yeah.
That sad girl feel better.
Oh.
That's what counselors do. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the Jenny Han cameos. I think they're very well done. Where like they did it in Dumplin' as well with Julie Murphy.
Yeah.
Where they're like just on screen, but just kind of in the crowd. So sweet.
It's very much like if you know that this is who the author is, you're going to notice it. But if you don't, it's just a regular shot in the movie.
Yeah, which is the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not like, is it the Divergent one where they just like hovered on Veronica Roth for a few seconds? It was like, no one knows who this is. Yeah. Or the Twilight one where they gave Stephanie Meyer lines.
I do not remember that.
Yeah, she was in the diner. She got like a couple lines and it was real weird.
Fair. All right. Was there anything else we wanted to touch on?
Watch the movies, read the books if you haven't. They're really sweet.
Yes,
I think it's a perfect adaptation of the text. So
yeah.
So like Vanessa asking, are the books good? If you like movies, it's a pretty good, safe bet.
Yeah, it's a really, really good romance. It hits like all the best romance tropes while feeling fresh.
Just be prepared for Laura Jean to feel a lot younger in the books than she does on screen.
Yeah,
she's very, like, very sweet and very innocent. It comes across a lot on paper. But
we didn't talk about base jumping.
No, we did not.
Best part of the movie. Somehow more explicit than if they had just talked about whether they wanted to be physically intimate with each other.
Yeah, and then Megan had a running commentary about base jumping for. It was great.
All right. Well, there's only 3 of us today, so it's probably a shorter chat because there's just less of us.
Okay, we'll wrap it up with a kind of a play on Rainer's question about what movies to watch. So if you enjoyed To All the Boys I've Loved Before, movie or book, whatever, what else would you recommend to people? Because I think Dumplin' is a pretty good one. So
yeah, Dumplin'.
Yeah, movie-wise, Dumplin' for sure. Book-wise, check out the Jenny Han's like first trilogy, The Summer I Turned Pretty.
I do remember liking those.
They're a very fun book series. It does hit a little close to home with the first one if you have had some sick family in the past, just as a warning, but it is a very good book. The other 2 books in the series, but the first one's great.
Book-wise, I really liked and felt like it was similar in tone, Windfall by Jennifer E. Smith, I think it is. It's like girl is in love with her best friend for her whole life, and then he wins the lottery. And it's really sweet and cute.
Also, book-wise, Casey West books.
Yeah.
Are very cute, fun, rom-com-y kind of books. Particularly the fill-in boyfriend. Very close to the first To All the Boys I've Loved Before kind of feel, because it's literally that the main girl gets dumped right before her prom and none of her friends believe that she has a boyfriend, so she meets a random dude in the parking lot and convinces him to be her date.
Adorable.
It's so good. The Fill-In Boyfriend is my favorite Casey West book I've read so far.
On the same, like, on the family side of things for To All the Boys I've Loved Before, I really enjoyed Morgan Matson's Save the Date. It was super cute. It had really nice sibling dynamics to it.
Yeah, Morgan Matson's The Unexpected Everything, I think, is also very, very good. And it's about a writer.
Yes. Yes.
And is that also dog walking?
Yes.
Writer and dog. It's so good. Maureen Goose, I believe in a thing called Love, is very cute, and it's got a movie coming out. They just announced.
Ooh.
And Griswold also suggested Serpent and Dove.
Oh,
What'd you say, Kelly?
I was just looking at what Netflix recommends. If you enjoyed To All the Boys I Loved Before, which is a lot of the bad Noah Centineo movies, but Easy A is great.
Yes, I love Easy A.
In terms of the other Netflix adaptations I've loved, Let It Snow was really good. I liked that one a lot.
Oh, I haven't watched that
I
one.
need to watch
It's
it.
really cute. It's very seasonally winter, but I guess it is still seasonally winter.
Not in Florida.
No. And it never was going to be in Florida, so I guess you can watch it whenever you want to.
Just fly up to Canada in the winter.
Always
and
winter
watch
in
it.
my heart.
Same.
I found Let It Snow was like up there with Dumplin' in this one of like actually well done movie and not just like I don't think it had like anything to do with the book. Or like I don't recall any of those characters from the like anthology series, but still
I haven't read Let It Snow in so long that I couldn't tell you.
yeah. I know the book had like a Christmas tree farm and this one didn't. That's all I know. Well, that seems like a pretty good place to end, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm going to quickly look up what we're doing next week because we will be here.
Adaptations.
Oh, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Is that what we called it?
Yeah.
So we're just going to be talking about adaptations of things.
Yeah. We could also, if we wanted to, we could redo the critiquing one that we had to postpone from last week because everyone had a ton of stuff come up all at once, and so we had to cancel last week's. But either way is fine by me.
Well, you will all find out tomorrow what we decide. Not Tuesday.
Tuesday. It will either be critiquing or movie adaptations. Let us know in the discussion section which one you want it to be.
Yes, your vote will count for a lot. So
Yes. Oh, where's our banner? Wow. Subscribe.
please like and subscribe if you want to see
Please.
movie adaptations and or critique discussions.
Yeah.
Our regular videos on Tuesday and Thursday, and we will be back with something next Sunday for our next live chat. So thank you all so much for joining us. This was a lot of fun. We're going to be doing book club again next month, but we will be back sometime in the second quarter with another movie night. So we will see you all next time. Bye.
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 It's hard to do.